Hello everybody and welcome. You read the title, you want to know how to do Destiny 2's Vault of Glass. Let's waste no time and get straight to it. The first encounter isn't really an encounter, but a process. You need to open this door to enter the actual Vault of Glass. To do this, you need to activate 3 sync plates. One is here, one is here, and one is here. Since you have 6 people, I recommend putting 2 people on each plate and going from there. To activate a sync plate, you must stand on it until it pulses. After that, feel free to step off of it. If an enemy steps on it though, you'll have to reactivate it by standing on it again. Other than that, there isn't much to talk about. The most dangerous enemies are Praetorians, which are orange bar minotaurs with a void shield, and Cyclopses, which will one-shot you. To deal with the Praetorians, I'd run a void weapon to break that shield. I personally use this Truth Teller grenade launcher with disruption break and blinding grenades because it's pretty good, but you can use basically any void weapons. These things aren't too bad. For the Cyclopses though, don't be afraid to use your supers. Nova Bomb, Thunder Crash, and Celestial Nighthawk are really good for these guys. They can spawn in 3 places around the map, but it doesn't matter how far away from you they are. They can shoot you, and they will still one-shot you. For heavy weapons, I recommend something that can kill the Cyclopses, because the normal adds aren't too hard to deal with. Right now, 1K Sleeper will absolutely melt them, but alternate options include rocket launchers, linear fusion rifles, and xenophage. After killing adds and standing on the plates for about 5 minutes, the door should open, and you can continue on to the next encounter. There are 2 ways to get to the second encounter. One has a secret chest, and one doesn't, so I'll just show you the footage of the one with a secret chest. So just follow this gameplay in the background right here, and I'll get back to you real quick. Once you get to this place right here, don't jump down just yet because it will start the next encounter. So rally to the flag, get everyone ready, and then start. This encounter is called Confluxes, and it's very similar to the first encounter, but slightly harder. When you start the encounter, one Conflux, which is this thing, spawns here. This Hydra called the Templar, you will kill it later, will be shooting you from the back of the map, so I'd watch out for him. Adds will spawn from these doors around the map and will try to go to the Confluxes. You need to kill those adds. Other Confluxes will spawn later, but for now there's only one. I'd recommend, again, splitting up the team into 3 pairs and putting them with 1 on the left, 1 in the center, and 1 on the right. In this encounter as well, Fanatics will spawn, and when they die, either by shooting them or when they explode, they drop a pool. If you happen to jump into this pool, you'll get a debuff called Mark of Negation. During this encounter, the Templar will periodically do something called Ritual of Negation. This does nothing unless you have the debuff, Mark of Negation. If Ritual of Negation happens when you have the debuff, you will die. But if you have the debuff and don't want to die, run to the center area and cleanse yourself in this pool. The pool takes a while to regen, so wait for others if anyone else needs to cleanse with you. After a while, the Templar will summon its legions. This text will appear in the bottom left of your screen, and it basically means a lot of adds are incoming. Additionally, Overload Minotaurs and Wyverns can spawn, and you'll want to take them out quickly because they will do a lot of damage. After all of them are dead, a second Conflux will appear. Now you have to defend both Confluxes. Adds spawn in the same spot, everything stays the same, and after a second Templar summons its legions, a third Conflux will appear. Rinse and repeat a final time and you beat this pretty simple encounter. The next encounter is Oracles, and it takes place in the same area as the last encounter. So does the encounter after this, but that's beside the point. To start, shoot this box. In this encounter, you'll have to shoot Oracles. Simple. Again, enemies spawn in all the same locations, but now you also have hobgoblins that spawn far away. I recommend running a scout rifle or machine gun to kill them because you want to keep your special ammo to shoot the Oracles. I recommend running a fusion rifle or aggressive frame shotgun to shoot these Oracles because they can one-shot them. And speed in this encounter is definitely very helpful. Now onto what actually happens. Once you shoot this box thing in the center, there will be a small delay, some ads will spawn, and 3 chimes will go off. Each chime represents an oracle spawning. Oracles can spawn in 7 places. 1 in the entrance area, mid. 1 in the far left stairs, L1. 1 off in this courtyard, L2. 1 in this wide corridor, L3. 1 over above the far right stairs, R3. 1 above the right cliff, R2, and 1 in this area here, R1. I recommend assigning each person to 1 oracle, and 1 person can run 2 oracles. When the oracles spawn, they spawn in a pattern. So let's say, for example, L1 spawns, then R3, then mid. After they spawn, they will go away for a brief second, then come back, showing the same pattern again. So L1, R3, then mid. If yours spawn, call out which number you are. So if yours spawn on the third chime, say 3 to indicate when you will shoot. The third time they return, they will not show their pattern. This time, you must shoot them in the pattern that they came in. Once you shoot yours, say which one you shot. So once 1 shoots theirs, they say 1. Once 2 shoots theirs, they say 2. And then once 3 shoots theirs, they say 3. If you shoot them in the correct order, the encounter continues. But if you fail, everyone will get marked for negation. Same as last encounter. Everyone will have to go to the center as quickly as possible. And then someone does a quick countdown, and everyone jumps in the pool to cleanse. Then you'll need to repeat the pattern again. But, again, if you did it correctly, you'll get another set of chimes. But this time, instead of 3, there will be 4 oracles that you need to shoot in order. Once that wave is done, there's a wave with 5 oracles, then a wave with 6 oracles, and then with a wave of 7 oracles. During wave 7, since there are 7 oracles in total, everyone will have to shoot an oracle in order, so be prepared for that. If you got all of that in order, then it's on to the next encounter. Well, not onto, again, you stay in the same location, but whatever. You know that really big Hydra that's been annoying in the past 2 encounters? Now you get to kill him. This is a DPS encounter called Templar, due to the Hydra's name being the Templar. So I'll go over some loadouts real quick. First off, you're going to want 1 Titan on Bubble, 1 Warlock on Well, and all Hunters should be on Celestial Nighthawk, and then all other Titans, other than the one on Bubble, should run Curious of the Falling Star. 1 member of your fire team will be absent from damage, so whoever does the least damage, which is usually a Warlock, should be chosen to be absent. I'll tell you what they do later. Now, onto weapons. Currently, fusion rifles with Vorpal, linear fusion rifles with Vorpal, 1000 Voices, and Sleeper Simulant are crazy good right now. But to be good, they must be paired with a seasonal mod called Particle Deconstruction, and obviously that's going to go away. This boss honestly has like 0 health, so most things will work. Slug shotguns, Izanagi's Burden, Wither Horde, and rocket launchers are a very good choice. One other thing, currently there's a mod called Focusing Lens, which buffs light ability damage on a target affected by stasis. For this, you should have 1 person, usually Hunter, run stasis so they can freeze the boss. If done correctly, you'll get bonus damage when you're in the well. All of these DPS strats can also be used at Atheon, just so you know. Now, to the actual encounter. Okay, this is post-production alpha, and when I was getting the footage for this encounter, these guys came up with a really cool strat that I'm just going to go ahead and tell you because it's way easier. Before, there were oracles that came up that you had to shoot in an order. Now, as stated last time, if you miss an oracle, everyone will get marked for negation. But the cool thing about this encounter is you don't actually need to shoot the oracles again if you fail. So basically what we do is we fail intentionally. So you'll see I pick up the relic, the oracles will come in, and then we all get marked for negation because we fail and don't shoot them. And then we step in and cleanse all of us, and we continue on as normal. So this is just a real quick change, but that is how we're going to do it. Once they're all shot, the person with the relic should have their super up. They call out when they have their super, and everyone goes here to damage. Go ahead and pop your bubble and well. The person with the relic should use their super, which shoots a ball of light. The person with the relic must hit the Templar in the middle of the room, and this breaks his shield. Once the shield is broken, you can DPS them. Now the relic person must go to the places that the Templar will teleport to block them from teleporting, so the DPS phase can keep going. They do this by standing on the little things that look like this. They're pretty obvious to see, so I won't really show you where they are, but one's on the left next to the L1 Oracle, one's on the right next to the R1 Oracle, and one's in the far back left of the room, and the other one's in the far back right of the room. Whilst they are doing that, everyone else should be unloading ungodly amounts of damage into the Templar's face. Periodically, someone will get detained, and a big bubble will go around them, preventing them from doing any damage. Shoot them out, not because you need to, but because it's nice. Soon the Templar will be dead, because again he has like 0 health, and you'll continue on to the next encounter. The next encounter is Gorgons. And whilst it's technically not an encounter, people wipe on it a lot. In the background gameplay, you can see me running to the encounter. Basically, special harpies called Gorgons roam in this large cave area. If they see you, you die. Simple. But like most things in Destiny, there is a way to cheese it. This is called, I'm not joking, Chad Strat. To get down the timing, wipe when you reach the Gorgon's lair by just running into one of the Gorgons. Once you respawn, immediately start running in this direction and do not stop. With the way the Gorgons move, you should make the cycle to this rock. Once you reach this rock, run this way along this wall and run into the wall. So you keep running up onto it and then back onto the ground. For some reason, the harpies don't notice you if you do this correctly. So it's pretty fun and allows you to basically cheese what is normally a pretty annoying encounter. And then follow the video to the next encounter, Gatekeepers. This encounter takes place in the same room as the final encounter, so go ahead and get familiar with them. With the door open, all of these adds will be standing, but not moving. If you throw a grenade or shoot a weapon, the encounter will start regardless of if you hit one of them or not. I'm going to go through both the cheese strat and the normal strat, because I don't know if the cheese strat is going to be patched in the future, and I really don't want to have someone stranded that only knows this cheese strat that doesn't work anymore. If you're watching this between 3 months of this coming out, I can almost guarantee that it works. If it's a little bit later, I'd ask around people. Now, we're going to go through loadouts. You will need people to be running Overload and disrupting mons to stun champions that spawn, and add clear weapons. Burst damage is also a second priority. Now, let's go over the cheese. There are more or less 3 roles. Plate Defenders, of which there are 2, and then Portal Team 1 and Portal Team 2, both of which has 2 players. If you've noticed, there are 2 portals in the room that aren't open. One on the left, one on the right. To open them, you must clear the adds and stand on these plates. I do this as quickly as possible, just to speed up the time of this encounter. Additionally, when you spawn, there will be a gatekeeper in the back of the room. Kill it along with the rest of the adds, and it should drop the relic. One person picks that up. Now, all the plate defenders have to do in this encounter is keep the portals open. You do this by killing the adds and champions that spawn, and kill the gatekeepers that spawn in the middle of the room. That's it. The 2 portal teams are slightly more tricky. Let's call one Team Freeze and the other Team Relic. Both need to do slightly different things in the portal. Once you're in the portal, there are confluxes, and you must defend by killing adds similar to the conflux encounter, before they can sacrifice on the confluxes. Additionally, Praetorians spawn with a shield that can only be broken by the other shield, which is the relic. But with the cheese strat, only one side has the relic. That side just uses the shield to kill the Praetorians like normal. But again, the other side is the side that has to use the cheese, since they don't have the relic. When Freeze's Praetorian spawn, freeze it, using supers, abilities, or stasis weapons. Proceed to push, yes, push the Praetorian off of the map. This kills the Praetorian. That's it. The only thing the portal team needs to worry about are the wyverns that spawn. make sure to kill them quickly because they do a lot of damage. But other than that, both sides just kill the Praetorians, Hydras, and other ads for a while, whilst the portal defenders kills their ads as well. After a while, a message at the bottom of your screen will appear saying a conflux appears before the glass throne. Once this happens, both portal teams need to come back through the portal and defend the final conflux. Again, there are more Praetorians, and since the shield is now available to everyone, just use the shield to kill it. You don't need to freeze them. If you need to freeze them, like for some reason the shield is gone, then you can freeze them if you need to. After a couple of waves of ads happen in Praetorians, a wave of 3 wyverns will spawn. Once they are dead, you are on to face Atheon. But, as I said, that is the cheese strat, and it might be patched by the time you're watching this video, so I'll go ahead and explain the normal strat. Once again, you will need to designate 2 people to defend the portals. They do the same exact thing. 1 person to relic, and the last 3 are runners. The person with the relic is also a runner. They just start with a relic, so they have a special title. This is much better explained via an example, so I'll go ahead and do that. At this point, I'll also mention the portal names. They weren't really needed in the cheese, but the portal on the left is called Mars, and the portal on the right is called Venus. So, example, you start the encounter, all ads are dead, because you just killed them. Someone has the relic right now, and the 2 portals are open because of the 2 portal defenders. One of the runners will go to the Mars portal, and one of the runners will go to the Venus portal. The remaining runner and relic holder will wait outside of the portals. When the first waves of enemies spawn inside the portals, one side will have the Praetorian. The relic holder needs to go into the portal that has the Praetorian. This person that is in that portal will need to call out that they have a Praetorian so the relic holder knows. So, the person with the relic goes into said portal, and the remaining runner that was with the relic holder goes to the plate of the portal that the relic holder went to. So, for example, let's say Venus has the first Praetorian. The relic holder goes into the Venus portal, and the remaining runner is standing outside of the Venus portal, helping the plate defender defend. The person with the relic runs to the Praetorian in Venus, kills it, and then drops the relic. When you go through a portal, you get a debuff that makes it impossible to go through a portal for about 45 seconds. This is why the previous relic holder needs to drop the relic. The person that was then defending inside Venus picks up the relic and goes back through the portal into the main room. They drop the relic to the runner who didn't go in any portal to begin with. That person then goes to Mars, goes into the portal. The Praetorian spawns in alternating positions, so if they first spawn in Venus, they will then spawn in Mars, and so on. That person then kills the Praetorian Mars and drops it to the person who was defending the Mars portal, and then goes back through the portal to the main room. Gives it to the runner who is outside the portal, who is then the main person in Venus, who then goes through into Venus, kills the Praetorian, and so on. This encounter is basically hot potato, throwing the relic around to kill the Praetorians as they spawn on alternating sides. You do this until a conflux appears before the glass throne, and then end the encounter per usual. As I always say, raids are easier done than said, and this encounter is a great example of that. As I said, this encounter is very repetitive and a little confusing, but if you're confused, I can assure you doing this encounter once will make it very, very simple. So you just completed this encounter with either cheese or legit strat. Now it's on to Atheon. Real quick plug, leave a like if you think this is a good guide so others can also see this guide. Thank you very much. Atheon is definitely the hardest encounter in this raid, but only comparatively. In reality, in all the grand scheme of things, it isn't too hard. I'll go over first what the DPS options are. Typically, once you're damaged by these stairs, depending on where your team goes. So if they go into the Mars portal, you're going to want to do damage on the Mars stairs so they can get to the damage spot as quickly as possible. You will need a well so you don't die from the exploding supplicants, and a bubble helps as well. Currently, you can also run a hunter with focusing lens going on Revenant to do bonus damage inside the well. Now, on to weapons. Particle deconstruction with any fusion rifle, linear or not, is very good. Mainly threaded needle with Vorpal weapon, Cartesian coordinate with Vorpal weapon, 1000 voices, and sleeper simulant. Also, slug shotguns can work if you're close enough. Snipers are pretty good as well, so Succession with Vorpal reconstruction, Praise Revenge with Frenzy rewind rounds, Disintuminous with firing lines, and Ikelos sniper with high impact reserves and 4 times the charge. Most things work on this encounter though, so if you get good damage, it doesn't matter what you're running, It just matters that you get the damage done. Now, onto the actual encounter. You start the encounter by shooting this box, which will spawn Atheon and Harpies. Atheon does a lot of damage, so make sure to stay out of his line of sight. For the Harpies up top, kill all of them but one, so they don't continue to respawn. After a short period, Atheon will teleport to 3 people to either Mars or Venus portal. They'll need to say where they went, so they can call out to the people that didn't teleport. For reference, the red side is Mars, and the yellow side is Venus. This is where the encounter splits. One side needs to call out the oracles, which spawn in 3 in an order. There are 6 locations for these to spawn. You got far and close right, you got far and close mid, and far and close left. These are pretty self-explanatory. Additionally, this team needs to defend the plate of the portal that the team got teleported into. So, if the team got teleported into the Mars portal, they are going to have to defend the Mars plate. Same for Venus. Other than that, they just call out the oracles in the order they come in and clear ads. It's slightly more difficult inside the portal though. When you spawn, the relic will be at your feet and someone needs to pick it up. It doesn't really matter who, but someone needs to, otherwise you will wipe. You then need to proceed to the back of this room where you shoot the oracles, correlating to what the other team that's not inside the portal called out. The callouts, again, are self-explanatory, so you can probably guess which ones are which from the footage. These oracles, unlike the ones in the original encounter, are very far away, so the best thing to run are Xenophage, which just one-shots them, or Sniper, which can two-tap them. Since 2 people are shooting though, each person should only need to fire bullets with heavy hitting snipers. Also, you can run a back-up scout rifle in case you run out of sniper ammo, but you should have enough sniper ammo. Whilst the other 2 people are shooting oracles inside the portal, the other person inside the portal must cleanse them, this is also the person with the relic, from the debuff that slowly blinds them. For PS4 it's L2 to cleanse, so for other devices it should be your aim button. This spawns a bubble that not only cleanses your teammates, getting rid of the debuff, but also blocks incoming damage. There are 3 rounds of oracles, and after you shoot the 3rd in order, make sure you shoot them in order and quick, you are able to damage Atheon. The team inside the portal will need to exit the portal, and once again, just outside the portal, cleanse everyone that was inside before proceeding to damage. This makes sure no one has the debuff left, because if you have the debuff and you're completely blind, it's pretty hard to actually shoot the boss. Once you cleanse everyone one last time, go ahead and proceed to damage. Just take a quick note that only the people that were inside the portal actually need to be cleansed. So for everyone else, it's okay. Another note, whoever grabbed the relic should make sure that it doesn't despawn when doing damage. Whilst you can drop the shield for short periods of time to do damage, just shoot a rocket, pop a super, it will despawn if left on the floor for 10 seconds, which causes the team to wipe, so make sure you're looking out for that. Additionally, about halfway through the damage phase, someone will get a debuff called Imminent Detain. When the timer reaches 0, a large bubble will envelop them, preventing them from doing damage, similar to the Templar encounter. But unlike the Templar encounter, if this bubble hits someone else, they will also be enveloped. This can cause a chain reaction, which can get the entire team stuck if the person with Imminent Detain does not get out of the way. So, if you get this debuff, either go towards Atheon so people can shoot you out very easily, or go to another location. If you go to another location that isn't in line of sight, make sure to call out where you go so people can shoot you out. In this damage phase, your supers also charge very quickly, and damage phase lasts about 30 seconds. Once done with the damage, clear ads and rinse and repeat. Again, the teleportation will be random, so everyone needs to be prepared for every single job. If you do this correctly and kill Atheon, congratulations, you have completed the Vault of Glass. Thank you very much for watching. This is a short guide because I know Vault of Glass isn't too hard, and there was no need to go too in-depth on this one. Regardless, the script was still 3,484 words, so please leave a like. I hope you were helped by this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!